Hi parents, my name is Mr. Richard Kim and I'm your child's either Algebra 2 or Geometry teacher for this year. And I just want to go over several of the class expectations, maybe help you understand them as you may have read them the very first week of school. Most of the things that we cover in Algebra 2 and Geometry are the same, so I'm going to, as I explain things, they apply to both classes. First off here, as you can see, I have, this is a Google Classroom page, and this is my period one. All information is posted here for the students. Announcements will be shared on this first stream page. Um, so if all your students, if they have questions and are wondering, well, what's due, what's coming up, they should be able to see it right here. I have all of the different uh, expectations. How we're grading homework is on this assignment grading rubric. And if you need to see the calendar and need to see the calendar, I also have that here on the page as well. So one of the main things right here that I cover are the expectations in the beginning of the year. And if we take a look at this, some of the main protocols that the district is actually is enforcing, or is a that's there for your students, is that they're expected to be online and logged into Google Meet. That's what I'm specifically using. And their camera needs to be on for the entire period unless I tell them otherwise. Okay, they should be using Google Chrome as their web browser and be logged into their school account actually in the browser. So if they're not, that's something that the students should be doing, and they could do that at the top right hand corner by the three dots of their Chrome browser. They'll be able to actually log in. As we go along, make sure that they are on time. I do open up the class early so that they can join in, and then I take attendance. I make sure that the students are there in the beginning and also at the end and throughout. I'm able to keep track of whether they are in and out, and if they do happen to have some technical difficulties, please make sure that they tell me. Okay, a lot of times students, maybe the internet drops or they need to restart their computer. And that's perfectly fine, but as long as they tell me that that is what they have. If they come back or they email me, they're saying, hey, I couldn't come back online, give me the heads up. Places where they could message me, email, but I prefer, at least for the students, to find me on chat.google.com. Classroom rules still apply. They shouldn't be eating or drinking during the class session. Making sure that they're taking notes, they're being attentive, and following along throughout the class period. All those things should be the same as they would whether they're during distance learning or actually in the classroom. They should not be using their electronic devices unless they absolutely have to, maybe for a calculator, but realistically it is not necessary. As we go along, I believe the biggest thing that parents are concerned about is, well, how does homework work? How is it graded? And the main thing that I look for in homework is, are they attempting to do the problems? Okay, are they putting in a fair effort? Homework is almost assigned every day, and what I've asked them to do is to show their work on a separate sheet of paper, and they also need to take their notes on a separate sheet of paper, or they could do it all in a notebook to keep it nice and organized. What they need to do is take a picture of their notes and their homework and upload it to Google Classroom. So if we take a look, for example, right here, things that I look for in what students have done so far is, let's take a look. As things are loading up, you can see my rubric that I have when I grade their homework, I look for 5 main things. Is their homework completed? Are they showing their work? They also need to go to bigideasmath.com. They put their answers in there and they can check it. Are they turning in their notes? Is it thorough? Are they writing down the vocabulary in my lectures? Are they writing down and copying the examples that I give them? Are they engaged in class? And also, is their work on time? So those are the main things that I'm looking for. You can look at the details of the rubric on Google Classroom if you need to. And right here, if we take a look, I am once again looking for neatness, making sure that they are answering the problems and showing their work. Many times students that do not get full credit fail to show their work, and all they do is put down answers. If their answer does not lead, or their work does not lead to the answer, then that's when I start taking off credit. So in my rubric right here, 1 point, that full point would be work is shown in a logical manner and work leads to the final answer. And so a total of all these parts adds up to 5 points for each assignment. And so as long as all of that is done, then they're able to get full credit. Okay. For their notes, they could either use Kami, which is an extension of Chrome, and I have their student journal online. There's a digital copy available to them, so they could actually write digitally if they have a tablet of sorts, or you could print out the pages, and that's what so you could print out the pages and write down your notes right here and examples. And then the last option is, and what this student has is they have the actual student journal. So the student journal is offered in the textbook room, and every student can get one if they don't want to print out the pages for their notes. And all those things should be uploaded and done in order to get full credit. I make sure, do they copy down the problems and show their work? Do they have proper headings? And if they need help with organization, then they need to make sure they can use an answer column. They should always use a ruler, okay, especially on graphs. And one of the things that I recommend that students have is graph paper. Okay, that is important for both classes. I do put right here that a maximum of 3 points can be earned for an assignment turned in late, and late work must be turned in before the end of the chapter. If the chapter is ended, we took our tests, then I will not accept the work anymore. Just once again, 3 steps in covering their homework. The procedure: show your work, show your notes, upload it, make sure they should go onto bigideasmath.com, and then they can check their work there. Big Ideas Math is also a great asset to them because there are tutors online that could help them on particular questions. There also is a help section or button on some of these questions where it will tell them what section they need to go to in order to maybe get help or look what example that correlates with the problem that they may be having difficulty with. As far as makeup work is concerned, they can always make things up. If they're absent, however many days are absent, that's how many days they have to make things up. Okay, makeup exams, if they are absent, they are expected to make up an exam the day they come back. Okay, that is absolutely critical unless prior arrangements are made. Otherwise, I will be giving them a 0. For the grading policy, for both classes this year, 60% of their grade will be based on assessments, tests, quizzes, benchmarks, finals, and 40% will be based on homework, class notes, etc. Now, if we do happen to go back second semester and we're back on campus, those percentages will change to the normal percentages, which will be 80% for assessments and 20% for homework. All right. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. different ways of contacting me are right here. And for parents, email is always probably the best way. All right. So hopefully, if you have any questions, feel free to email me, and I'll do the best I can to get your child through the school year. All right. Bye bye.